with a victory. So, Blue Ridge certainly has the mindset, home game. They want to get the W here tonight if they can and put an end to that 3-game skid that they've been on the last few weeks.
In Section 5, the difference between being the number 1 team and the difference between being the number 4 or 5 team is not that big of a difference.
Not at all. Especially when you look at who is in this Section 4. You got Winslow, who I think right now is 3. Holbrook, which is 4. Snowflake, which is 1. Altusay, 7. I mean, that's pretty great representation from just one section alone in Division III. So you're right. It's a hard-fought section right now, especially when you get down below Snowflake, who, of course, is undefeated so far. But I think more than anything else, Coach Reek wants his Yellow Jackets to have a good showing. I mean, they've been playing well. They've been playing good, tight basketball games against all the competition. Their losses have been against those teams we just listed, Snowflake, Winslow, Holbrook, are the last 3 games they've had, and they've lost those 3 pretty tough battles, all of them. But I think more than anything, just to get the confidence, get his guys feeling like they can really pull away with a good victory tonight, it would be huge for them just mentally, I think.
Well, Punt, as we talk about the keys to the game, one of the things to think about for the Yellow Jackets are coming off a 3-game slide here. Are they going to have the mentality of let's just give up, or are they going to have the mentality of let's be warriors, fight through the adversity? We're a team that can battle back and come back from this and still do well. That's the other thing. They're in good shape for state right now. They've got a couple of games, section games, to end out the season that are very winnable for them. They end up being probably in the top 20, if not the top 24, and getting an automatic or a guaranteed seed into the state tournament, regardless of whether they make the section tournament or not. But the reality is that sometimes having lost 3 very difficult games, it's easy to come out flat. As we now talk about our Ace Hardware keys to the game, brought to you by the Ace Hardware of the White Mountains. 24/7 locksmith available for you at the Ace Hardware. Their mobile unit will come to you. Contact the Ace Hardware in Pinetop, Sholo, and Heber Overgard.
Well, I think a big key for Blue Ridge is just, one thing, we know these kids fairly well just living in the community, and there's no quit in any of these guys. I think more than anything, they just have had difficulty finishing games, because they've had close contests. They just have not been able to close out with victories when I'm sure Coach felt like they were there to be had. And I think that probably is the key tonight. Not let a team like Window Rock, which, when we look at their leading scorers, they don't have any one particular player that really stands out necessarily, but that can also be a problem because their scoring is so diversified across a bunch of guys, and that includes, it looks like, their bench players as well. So defensively, Blue Ridge is going to have to be on their game tonight, whether it's they come out in the man, which I expect them to be at least part of the game, or if they come out in zone, and I'm sure the coaches will adjust depending on what Window Rock comes up with tonight. But I think overall, defensively, if they can stay tough in this game and eliminate the turnovers, and then if the game's close, obviously they need to be able to finish, and I think that's going to be a big key just for the Yellow Jackets. Just work hard and finish hard, because that's something that I think feel like they've not done well in these last 3 games, feeling like maybe they gave those games up when they could have won them.
Well, you talked about them spreading their offense out a little bit. No one in double figures. Their leading scorer, Myron Wanika, the 6'4 junior, followed by Jacob Emerson, a 5'9 senior. And then a guy off the bench, Trent Long, who will hit the long ball and had 4 3-pointers in their win against Chin Lee, their latest win. And that was a huge win for this Window Rock team, a win that Coach Mendoza hopes that will get the scouts into the idea that and give them the confidence that they are state championship caliber basketball team.
Absolutely, and they can be, that can be a big threat to the Jackets defensively, depending on how they run their offense. Of course, we haven't seen Window Rock play, haven't had the opportunity to see him on tape or anything, but one thing that Blue Ridge is usually pretty good about, though, is making defensive adjustments. They have a pretty strong bench when it comes just to that. They have some really aggressive defenders that can play the ball well. And probably another key is where I'm just thinking about it is, they can't afford to get into a lot of foul trouble, of course, as well. I think that'll be a big key for the Jackets tonight.
Well, that's your Ace Hardware keys to the game, brought to you by the Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, now with a 24/7 locksmith available any day of the week, any night of the week as well, 24/7. Their mobile unit will come to you. Contact the Ace Hardware in Pinetop, Sholo, and Heber Overguard as we get set for the starting lineups here from Blue Ridge High School, the Window Rock Scouts and the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets. As we look at the Jacket side of things, there's a guy right now, Williams, that will need to have a good game. He's one of the premier post players in the state. And behind him, you saw Mason Burgess there for just a moment. Those two guys need to have good games tonight. Obviously, Williams, one of the team leaders on this team.
Absolutely. Chris Williams, 6'3", senior, going up against, you mentioned Myron Wanika from Window Rock. He's 6'4", but the advantage that I think Chris may have is he's much bigger frame, and he has quickness as well, does Chris Williams, and he's shown the ability to be able to move inside the paint as well as put up the perimeter shot. So clearly having him and McKay lead the offensive charge is always a good start for the Jackets.
Well, the father and son duo of the Chavez family are the officials tonight. And with that, we go to our public address announcer, Tom Zabel, for the announcement of the starting lineups. Here's Tom Zabel.
The rules of the game, their experience and their integrity qualify them for their part in this interscholastic contest. The attitude of sportsmanship should be reflected by all spectators, no matter what their personal feelings of loyalty may be to one team or the other in this afternoon's contest. Please remember, pursue victory with honor. And I will announce the starting lineups for this afternoon's game. For the visiting Window Rock Scouts, number 12, Shaman Goodman. Number 21, Corby Emerson. Number 22, Jacob Emerson. Number 33, Byron Wanika. And number 50, Brandon Chickaway. And the Scouts are coached by Raul Mendoza. For the Yellow Jackets, number 11, Chris Williams. Number 20, McKay Burgess. Number 23, Trey Tenegith. Number 24, freshman, Mason Burgess. And number 25, Nathan Miles. Manager Sam Gardner. And the Yellow Jackets are coached by Adam Reek.
All right, there's your starting lineups for tonight. We'll step away as we honor America in the scene of our national anthem. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
Sholo is football and party town, especially when you show up at Sholo Ford's Great American Tailgate event. Even if you just got your license, show up for the lowest price and longest warranty. Brand new Fords, all with our lifetime engine warranty. Not 3 years or 6, not 10 years or 100,000 miles. No way. Our warranty is forever. Come into Sholo Ford this week. Take delivery of a new Ford or pre-owned vehicle. New 2014 Ford F-150 Super Ford Cruise, just $30,495. New 2014 Ford Focus SE, just $19,995. Or new 2014 Ford Fiestas, $13,995. Plus, every new Sholo Ford truck comes ready to tailgate with a Yeti cooler. Sholo Ford's Great American Tailgate Event. It's party time at the east end of the Deuce.
Oh, this is my town. Welcome back to Blue Ridge High School as we get set for the opening tip here from the land of Yellow Jackets. Yellow Jackets with their white uniforms, gold numerals trimmed in purple. And the Scouts wearing their blue unis with an off blue stripe down the side, white numerals. And the Scouts will control the tip here and will have the first possession of the ball game. Up and down with the right hand. Swing it out on the angle left is Jacob Emerson. Back up top to Goodman. Goodman hands it off on the right side to Emerson. Emerson underneath, wide open, easy bucket. Shimon Goodman with the bucket.
Outstanding pass from Emerson at top of the key. Blue Ridge starting out in the man-to-man defense.
And there's Williams on the other end.
And that was
the
all
feed from Nate Miles.
Yep, very good. Nate Miles attacking from the top of the key with a nice dish off to Chris Williams.
Scouts now control. We're tied at 2, although the scoreboard hasn't caught up with it yet. There they go. Tied at 2. And the Scouts looking for a shot on the baseline, and the turnaround jumper is good for Myron Wanika, the team's leading scorer. Burgess on the other end misses the shot. Williams rebound over to Mason Burgess. His shot a little too strong off the glass. Scouts control the rebound.
And Window Rock dodging a bullet there on that first shot by McKay Burgess, wide open. His man wasn't able to pick him up in time.
Blue Ridge up by a bucket, 4-2 here, first paragraph of the first. And crouching is Emerson as he gives to the wing right to Goodman. Throw up here up top towards the backcourt. Emerson chases it down, throws it over to Kobe Emerson. Into the corner, back to Kobe Emerson. Emerson at the elbow, tries to leave it, stolen away by Williams. Williams throttles up the left side, takes it, fakes right, puts it off the window, no good. Rebound tipped around and knocked out of bounds in front of the Scout bench, last touched by, looks like the Yellow Jackets, and the Scouts will have the possession.
Well, Chris Williams goes coast to coast after getting that steal, and kind of an awkward takeoff on that left side, and just not able to get the ball off softly off the glass. So another missed opportunity for the Jackets there on a fast break.
Up and down with the right hand. Between the wheels, Jacob Emerson gets tied up there by Mason Burgess. Now down to the low post. Spinning is Chickaway. Throw it back up top to Wanika, left side. Three-pointer on its way, no good. Rebound Williams. Williams on the far side, leaves it off for Tenagent. Tenagent, crossover to get it across the stripe, give it to Williams. Williams stutters, now gives it up top. Over to Mason Burgess on the wing right. He loses the handle, goes out of bounds, and Window Rock will get it back.
Well, Mason Burgess out on his own on that corner over there, tries to do a crossover, goes off the defender's foot, but Mason reaches down and touches it right before it goes out of bounds.
Shot from 18, no good by Wanika. And McKay Burgess takes it strong to the hole but doesn't finish. Scouts coming the other direction. Point guard Kobe Emerson working against Mason Burgess, slaps it back towards his face. At the time stripe, working tough, dives for the ball. There's the fire on the back end. 3 defenders working against him, and we finally get a foul call. We had Trey Tenegith, Mason Burgess, and McKay Burgess all trying to make the steal there. And Kobe Emerson, keeping his cool, draws the contact, and the foul is called on McKay Burgess.
Well, McKay Burgess being really aggressive at the top, as you say, Camden, and recognizing that his brother Mason, along with Trey Tenegith, see the opportunity for a trap. They just end up getting a foul instead.
And here we have McKay Burgess taking it after it was literally a gift given to by Kobe Emerson. Lost the handle on it. Looked like he was trying to one-hand pass it to somebody and threw it right to McKay Burgess, who takes it coast to coast and can't complete the play, but ends up getting a trip to the free throw line out of the process as the foul is called on Kobe Emerson, his first.
Well, Camden, you know, we talked about one of the keys for the Yellow Jackets tonight being just solid, aggressive defense. And so far we've seen that, at least from McKay Burgess here in the last couple of possessions, able to get turnovers.
McKay Burgess ties it up. We're tied at 4 with 4.5 left to play here in the first. Scouts work it over on the wing left. Up and down with the right hand. Throw it up top for Goodman. Goodman down in the right side to Emerson. They try the left side. Out on the perimeter, they give it to Goodman again. 3-point shot is short on the right side for Sloan, who's just checked in. Jackets coming the other way. Linwood Burke with it on the angle right to Mason Burgess. Up and down with the right hand. Trey Tenegith calling for a screen. He gets one, moves it to the right side, puts it up from 3-point range, but it's short. Scouts control the rebound and bring it up and down with the left-hand dribble. That's Jacob Emerson. Bounce it off onto the angle right to Sloan. Sloan passes it over to Goodman. Goodman over here on the left side to Jacob Emerson. Emerson spins. Pitch it down now into the corner to Goodman. Back up top to Sloan. High post, then try a feed underneath, and they got it.
Nice bounce pass off of by Brandon Chickaway with the cutter coming right by. Really tight window for that bounce pass, but does an outstanding job getting it to the cutter for the easy bucket.
That's the second bucket of the night for Goodman. And Goodman gives the Scouts a 2-point lead as the Yellow Jackets drive in. Mason Burgess this time working it up against the glass as Jacob Emerson picks up the personal. He goes to the free throw line for a pair. Off the heel, no good. 3:13 left to play first quarter. Burgess hits 1 of 2, hits the second half of the 2, and the Scouts lead by 1, 6-5. As the clock approaches the 3-minute mark. And Goodman works it on the angle right, now switches. Comes over here to the left side. Bit of a stutter up top. Fans wanted to travel, don't get it. Goodman. Cross court pass over to Sloan. Back up top to Emerson. Emerson between the circles. Give it to Goodman. Goodman drives left hand down towards the block. Turn right into Linwood Burke's hands. And Burke almost tied him up, but forces an errant pass in front of the Yellow Jacket bench. And Blue Ridge is going to get the turnover.
Outstanding defensive help from the Jackets that time with the ball going down into the corner, and the support that they get down on that baseline, one of the reasons why they're able to get the turnover. So again, defense for the Jackets going really well so far in this game.
Burgess launches from 3, front of the iron, no good. Rebound Scouts. 6-5 Window Rock. 2:24 to play here in the first. Emerson up and down with the right hand. Excuse me, that's Sloan. Now passes off right side to Myron, and Myron backs it up towards the time stripe. Over to Emerson. Back to Sloan. Out on the perimeter to Myron. Chickaway comes up top beyond the 3-point arc and hands it off now to Emerson. Over to Myron. Back up top they go as they work the ball very patiently. Emerson with a rock looking for a shot. Moving the ball around. Now they take a long 3 from Emerson. It's no good, but they get the rebound
Emerson in the paint, hands it off to Chickaway. They reset the offense.
Very disciplined offensive. Well, they'll get the turnover there with Mason Burgess getting the pick, going the length of the court, and draws the foul. So 2 and 1 going to the line is Mason Burgess. But I was about to say that the Scouts being very patient and disciplined on their offense.
All the way up until that moment where they threw it away.
Right.
Jackets back on top by 1, 7-6 with 1.5 left, and Burgess can make it a 2-point lead here with the free throw. As Wanika checks back into the lineup as Chickaway is going to get a breather here for the Window Rock Scouts. Reminder, tonight's contest is brought to you in part by Subway. Great meal for just $6 right now with the Simple Six menu at Subway Restaurant. Subway Eat Fresh, additional charge for extras, prices, and participation may vary, plus tax where applicable. And Burgess strokes the free throw. He has 4 in the contest, and the Jackets lead by 2. And it's 16 left to play first quarter. Pass it off on the right side, Kobe Emerson. Now to Sloan, looks at a 3. Hit the heel of the iron, no good. Out of there comes Burke with the long rebound. He races it up the far side, wraps around, tries to get Williams. It's stolen away. Scouts will have the basketball. Over in the corner, shot from 3 is no good for Myron. Rebound though, and a block shot underneath. The rebound went to Wanika, but Wanika couldn't find the space to work as Williams knocked it out of bounds.
Well, a good defensive effort by Chris Williams. Wasn't able to get to the board. Wanika beat him there, but able to bat away as Wanika tries to go up for the shot, but just a good defensive effort down on that baseline.
Trey Tenedgeth to Williams, and he puts it up and in.
Nice quick move by Chris Williams, getting the pass. One strong dribble with a big step. Takes it up soft off that left side.
4-point lead for the Jackets, 24 seconds left. Heavy pressure on the far side as they knock Sloan to the ground. They say it went out of bounds, last touch by the Yellow Jackets here. Set to check it in is Kobe Emerson. Emerson will check it in to Sylvester Begay, who's just checked into the lineup. And there's a steal picked up by Burke. He throws it ahead to Tenedgeth, but it's a little too tall for him, and it goes out of bounds as Padilla checks into the lineup for the Yellow Jackets, replacing Chris Williams.
Well, Linwood Burke had the right idea. They had numbers down on the floor. The Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets had numbers advantage, but as you say, the pass is a little too strong going over Trey's head. Missed opportunity on that fast break for the Jackets.
Kobe Emerson, the sophomore, brings it up for the Scouts. Shot at the buzzer from the high post is no good for Trent Long, and that's the end of the first quarter. We'll step away. Yellow Jackets with a 4-point lead, 10-6. This is Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
Need a fireplace? Ace has that. Need barbecue grills? Ace has that. Need paint? Ace is the best place for that. Need a chainsaw or weed eater? Ace has that too. Ace can even fix your chainsaw and your weed eater. Ace Hardware has everything you need for your home improvement project. They even have a 24/7 locksmith. Locked out of your home or car, their mobile unit will come to you. That's your helpful place. Ace Hardware of the White Mountains in Pinetop, Overgard, and Sholo.
With over 25 years of experience in search and recruiting, Care National is dedicated to matching skilled professionals with careers in healthcare. Care National, nationwide medical management recruitment services. Let us get you hired.
Trey Tenedgeth hits a straightaway 3 to start things off for the Yellow Jackets. Window Rock misses inside. Jackets up now 12-6. Opening paragraph of the second quarter. Trey Tenedgeth takes it down inside and cannot find the basket, but does draw the contact and will go to the free throw line here as Trent Long is whistled for the personal.
And again, we see the Jackets getting the turnover on that defensive pressure. They've so far in this game had good success with the transition game, beating Window Rock down to their side of the floor. That unfortunately just not able to get the layups to get the points up on the board so far.
We're going to timeout on the floor, and we'll keep it here with 7:32 left to play. Great basketball to be played. Final week of the regular season next week, Punt. We've got the Alchese Falcons coming here to take on the Yellow Jackets on Tuesday. That game will be here on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com. You can watch the video stream of these contests on demand and live during the game at iTalk1067.com.
And that will be a big game, not only in attendance, I'm sure. This place will be rocking for sure with the Alchese Falcons coming up. But pretty important game for both clubs as well. You know, just finish off the season with a big victory would be a nice way to close out the season.
Tenejith hits the first of 2 free throws. Talked about the Yellow Jackets on a 3-game losing streak coming into this contest. This is an important win for them confidence-wise. An important game for them to win, I should say. As they're up now 13-6 with 7.5 remaining in the second. Up and down with the right hand, Kobe Emerson, the sophomore, generals the point for the Scouts. And the Scouts work it right side to Trent Long. Long has it poked away, dives to the floor, saves it, now throws it. Padilla picks it up for the Jackets, and Burke travels with it, loses the handle on it.
Well, you could see Mason Burgess wide open underneath, just lost the handle before he could get the pass off.
3-point bucket for Eric Sloan. Sloan, the guy that came in and lit up the Scouts. I think we maybe said Long was. There's a 3-pointer by Trey Tenejith.
Nice confident jumper by Trey, just dribbles down, can fill the space from the defender and just pulls up, nails that 3-point jumper. Great shot and well-timed shot with the points to try to break this run by the Scouts.
Scouts had cut it to 4 and now trading threes as we get another one drained. The trifecta goes down for Myron Wanika. And 6:08 left to play here in the second. 16-12, a 4-point Yellow Jacket lead as we get a player diving to the floor here on a great effort. Trent Long tries to save it, but he won't be successful as the Jackets will have it. Burgess, right hand dribble, splits the defenders, give it to Mason Burgess on a backdoor look, and he has it poked away. McKay Burgess picks up the loose ball and gets inside and draws some contact.
Well, number 21, Kobe Emerson, draws the foul, and that would be the 3rd successive reach around the back by the Scouts to pop the ball loose, but on that 3rd one, Emerson gets called for the foul.
Burke set to check the ball in. Tosses it into Burgess, tries the jumper on the baseline left. He got it, 8-footer good.
Great movement by Burgess to slide out on that baseline, find the open space, and a good pass to get to him to get that nice bucket off the baseline left.
The sophomore, Kobe Emerson, 6'1 sophomore, running the point for the Scouts. Gives it up top for Wanika. Now right side, Chickaway launches just underneath the arc, no good. Rebound to Miles, he slips and falls, keeps his dribble. Right hand dribble to get away from the defender, throttles it across the time stripe, give it to Burke. Burke down the right side, pitch it out to Mason Burgess. 3-pointer short, rebound to the Window Rock Scouts. The Gay gets the board. Emerson driving to the line inside the lane, kick it out to Wanika. Wanika's long-range jumper no good. And here come the Yellow Jackets. Burgess bangs off the defender and puts it into off the window and in.
Nice run by McKay Burgess. Quick sprint right down the middle of the court. And a good pass to find him, but you got to credit the effort by McKay Burgess that time. Nice hustle to get the bucket.
Another timeout called here as the Scouts want to talk it over. 20-12. Yellow Jackets lead with 4 minutes and 51 seconds left to play in this half. Reminder that tonight's contest is brought to you in part by Ace Hardware, the White Mountains, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, Sunrise Park Resort, Sholo Ford, and the Honda Resort and Casino. Also tonight's game brought to you in part by Papa John's. For the best ingredients, best pizza, call Papa John's at 532-PAPA. That's 532-7272. Well, so far tonight, the Yellow Jackets have been able to match the speed of the Window Rock Scouts. The Scouts looking for some answers here, trailing 20-12 with under 5 to play here before halftime. They'll have the ball as we come out of the timeout. Right side, Goodman. Throw it over to Sloan, and Sloan back over to Wanika, to Sloan. Sloan looking at a three, the lefty. Rolled across the front of the arm, but doesn't fall down. Rebound, though, to Goodman. Goodman brings it up, throws up another three. It's no good. Rebound to Mason Burgess. Hands it off to McKay Burgess. And he'll bring it up the floor for the Yellow Jackets. Williams into the corner for Burke. Drives the baseline. Puts it up with the right hand. Can't get it to fall. But we get a foul down underneath as the body goes flying across the paint. Jacob Emerson will be whistled for his second personal.
You can maybe hear Coach Reek in the background applauding his guys for the movement, the ball movement, as they move quickly down the floor. Clearly the Yellow Jackets are trying to push that transition full court game tonight and doing a good job of it so far.
And the shot by Burke is good. From the free throw line, Linwood Burke gets his first point of the night. Take a look at a second here. And he does. It's a 10-point Yellow Jacket lead with 4:08 left to play in the second. Some three-quarter court pressure here by Miles working against the point guard, Jacob Emerson. Pass it to Chickaway. Chickaway spins on the baseline. Had it poked away for a moment, gets it into the hands of Eric Sloan, the 5'9 sophomore, who drives and draws the contact.
Nate Miles for the Jackets draws the foul. But you can see, Camden, once again, you know, the Yellow Jackets on when the Scouts bring the ball down, they're pressuring way out past the three-point line. They're putting a lot of pressure on the ball outside the perimeter, trying to slow down or stifle the ability of the Scouts to get their offense going. And so far it's been paying dividends for the Jackets.
Sloan misses the first of two free throws. Chickaway checks out of the lineup for the Scouts. And the second one is no good as well. Checking into the lineup is Dylan McGay, the 6'1 sophomore for Window Rock. Burgess hangs in the air and puts the bucket in and draws the contact.
Oh, nice crossover coming down way up high on the top of the key on the right side. Good crossover, allows that lane to open up. McKay you could tell he was expecting the contact, and just nice soft touch off the glass to get the bucket and go to the line.
Myron Wanika, the 6'4 junior, whistled for the personal. That's just his first, as Burgess completes the three-point play with the good free throw and puts the Yellow Jackets up 25-12. Over to Sloan. Sloan tries to throw one up top. It's ricocheted around, saved into tenage of the head for Miles. Miles blows the layup though. Missed the easy bucket. Here come the Scouts, and there's a steal. McKay Burgess going to take it coast to coast. Strong to the hole, he scores it. Burgess with 9 in this quarter. He has 11 in the game, and the Yellow Jackets lead it 27-12 with 3:13 left to play in the half. We'll take a break. Timeout on the floor. We'll take it with them. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com. Welcome back to Blue Ridge High School. Yellow Jackets out to a commanding 27-12 lead. And Window Rock, I think, a little shell-shocked in that second quarter. They hung quite well. In fact, had the lead for much of the first quarter. Came out a little flat, though, in the second.
Well, I still think you got to credit this Jacket defense. A lot of pressure way out high on the perimeter. You can tell that's part of their strategy tonight. We talked about it a little bit as being maybe a potential key. But you can see these guards for the Scouts are just having a tough time getting the offense started because of that pressure.
Absolutely, as the Scouts work it up to the high post. There's a steal. Burgess picks it up. Mason Burgess to McKay. Burgess launches the three, no good. Rebound nicely by Emerson, and Emerson gets tied up, and a jump ball is called. The Jackets are going to get the ball back.
Well, I think McKay Burgess also a little bit lucky. Coach Mendoza wanting a foul there from Burgess, so maybe a little lucky dodge in the foul. But regardless, it'll stay Blue Ridge ball.
Ball comes in to Burgess, kick it out into the corner. Mason Burgess looking at a three, no good. A little long, and the Scouts try to track it out of bounds, but run out of real estate. Trent Long got a hand on it, but he was standing in front of the Scout bench on the line when he did get the hand on it. Backdoor cut, Mason Burgess, easy look. He puts it off the window and in.
Nice cut by Mason Burgess, and good look by Burt to find him on that cut.
Nice looking jumper on the angle right that time, rather than the baseline right. Siobhan Goodman now has 6 in the contest. 29-14. It's the Yellow Jackets on top of the 2:21 left to play before halftime. Jackets miss. Scouts bring up the rebound. Emerson into the corner, now swing it to the angle left to Sloan. Underneath, and a foul committed as they try to post up. And the foul is called on Mason Burgess, I believe. Oh, excuse me, McKay Burgess. That's his second. A non-shooting foul. Kobe Emerson set to check the ball in. Into the Yellow Jacket lineup is Josiah Vitale. Bounce pass inside as we get a foul called on Padilla here.
Well, a bounce pass into the big man, Dylan Begay, number 55 for the Scouts, who's posting up on that low block. And as you say, Adam just kind of out of position, tries to reach around from the backside. And anytime you do that, usually the refs will ring you up for the foul.
That's the first on Adam Padilla tonight. Scouts work the ball around to the right side. Spinning move underneath. Good strong move that time against Linwood Burke as Trent Long showing some good footwork, but can't finish, but does get the foul.
Outstanding move by Long, but Burke slides over quickly with those quick feet. Unfortunately, just a lot of contact. He will draw the foul. Does Linwood Burke, his first.
Take a look at Trent Long here. Hits the first of 2 free throws. Reminder, tonight's contest brought to you by Subway. Get a great meal for your $6. Just $6 right now with the Simple 6 menu at Subway restaurants. Subway, eat fresh. Additional charge for extras. Prices and participation may vary, plus tax where applicable. Long missed the second of 2 free throws, and Burgess comes down the other end and scores it up and in on a breakaway. Shot misses here. Burke throws it ahead, tries to lob for Burgess. It's stolen away by Begay. Scouts looking to run. Throw it left side, off to Goodman. Back up top, work it to Myron. Angle right, three-pointer is long. Linwood Burke picks it up. Burke across the time strike. Over to Williams. Williams up and down with the left hand. Throws to Burgess. That's McKay Burgess. Over to Linwood Burke.
Nice.
Burke drives the baseline, puts it up and in.
A nice move by Linwood Burke on that baseline on the right side. Just gives a nice quick crossover. Free lane right in for a nice layup for 2.
33-15, 42 seconds left to play here in this first half. 3-pointers long for Window Rock. Yellow Jackets may be taking out their frustration having lost the last 3. It's some tough Section 4 play. And the top teams of Section 4 starting to surface here late in the season. Burke playing for the final shot. Works here, gets the crossover, dribble to the elbow, right side to Williams. Williams had it poked away by Emerson, out of bounds in front of the scout bench. Trey Tenage checking in for Adam Padilla. 9 seconds left. Jacket ball, they check it in to Burgess. Fakes left, goes right, off the window, score it.
Nice shot by McKay. Kind of a defensive mix up there by the scouts on that last second shot, it looked like.
They hit, but it's not going to be good.
Basket does not
Emerson had the shot at the buzzer, but Chavez says no, didn't get out of his hands in time. 35-15, Yellow Jackets out to the big lead. We'll be back with our Sunrise Park Resort halftime show when we return. Great snow up at Sunrise, expecting 49 inches of snow this weekend. They've had plenty of it so far, and expecting more this evening and into tomorrow. Check it out at sunriseskipark.com. That's sunriseskipark.com. Back with the Sunrise Park Resort halftime when we return. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
Sholo is football and party town, especially when you show up at Sholo Ford's Great American Tailgate event. Even if you just got your license, show up for the lowest price and longest warranty. Brand new Fords, all with our lifetime engine warranty. Not 3 years or 6, not 10 years or 100,000 miles. No way. Our warranty is forever. Come into Sholo Ford this week. Take delivery of a new Ford or pre-owned vehicle. New 2014 Ford F-150 Super Cruise, just $30,495. New 2014 Ford Focus SE, just $19,995. Or new 2014 Ford Fiestas, $13,995. Plus, every new Sholo Ford truck comes ready to tailgate with a Yeti cooler. Sholo Ford's Great American Tailgate event. It's party time at the east end of the Deuce.
Oh, this is my town.
Need a fireplace? Ace has that. Need barbecue grills? Ace has that. Need paint? Ace is the best place for that. Need a chainsaw or weed eater? Ace has that too. Ace can even fix your chainsaw and your weed eater. Ace Hardware has everything you need for your home improvement project. They even have a 24/7 locksmith. Locked out of your home or car? Their mobile unit will come to you. That's your helpful place. Ace Hardware of the White Mountains in Pinetop, Overguard, and Sholo.
This is my town.
Sholo is football and party town, especially when you show up at Sholo Ford's Great American Tailgate event. Even if you just got your license, show up for the lowest price and longest warranty. Brand new Fords, all with our lifetime engine warranty. Not 3 years or 6, not 10 years or 100,000 miles. No way. Our warranty is forever. Come into Sholo Ford this week. Take delivery of a new Ford or pre-owned vehicle. New 2014 Ford F-150 Super Cruise, just $30,495. New 2014 Ford Focus SE, just $19,995. Or new 2014 Ford Fiestas, $13,995. Plus, every new Sholo Ford truck comes ready to tailgate with a Yeti cooler. Sholo Ford's Great American Tailgate event. It's party time at the east end of the Deuce.
Oh, this is my town.
Because Bell's looking at me.
To our Sunrise Park Resort halftime show. At intermission, it's 35-15. The Yellow Jackets with the lead. And Punt
take a look at some of the scoring across these two teams. Of course, Window Rock came out on top and led much of that first quarter, and then Yellow Jackets took the lid off the basket in the second half. They outscored the Window Rock Scouts 20 to 15 in that. No, more than that. 35-15 was is our halftime score. They outscored them 20 to 5 in that second quarter. So Yellow Jackets doing a great job in the second quarter. You mentioned defensive pressure.
Yeah. Well, defense has always been a major positive, a major asset for these Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets. They have a lot of quick guys. They got a deep bench where they can just keep rotating guys in. So it doesn't expect me that they would want to really come out strong, but the transition baskets as well, the transition game for the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets in that second quarter especially, I don't know how many empty possessions the Scouts had because of turnovers that defense was able to produce, and then on the other side, Blue Ridge able to capitalize on the guys getting down quickly and getting a lot of open buckets. I think McKay ends up with I don't know how many points in this first half, but a lot of those were just on fast break buckets. So great job. I mean, anytime you can hold Window Rock to 15 points and a half, that's pretty amazing stuff. I mean, clearly they're a very quick, agile, athletic team, and hold that club to 15 definitely, to me, is an indication of a very, very strong defensive presence by the Yellow Jackets so far in this game.
Absolutely. Chris Williams with 4 here at the break. 4 tonight so far for Linwood Burke. 15 on the night to lead all scores. McKay Burgess has as many points as the Window Rock Scouts have in the first half. And Dre Tenageth, 7 here at the break. Mason Burgess with 6. For Window Rock, it's Shaman Goodman with 6, 3 for Eric Sloan, 5 for Myron Wanika, and 1 for Trent Long. This is the Sunrise Park Resort halftime show. Great skiing to be had. Fresh snow up at Sunrise. Check it out at sunriseskipark.com. Also, $18 rooms. That's right. Stay for as little as $18 a night at the Sunrise Park Resort Hotel. Check it out at sunriseskipark.com. All the details available there at sunriseskipark.com. Back with more of our Sunrise Park Resort halftime show when we return. This is the Sunrise Park Resort halftime show and Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
Sholo is football and party town, especially when you show up at Sholo Ford's Great American Tailgate event. Even if you just got your license, show up for the lowest price and longest warranty. Brand new Fords, all with our lifetime engine warranty. Not 3 years or 6, not 10 years or 100,000 miles. No way. Our warranty is forever. Come into Sholo Ford this week. Take delivery of a new Ford or pre-owned vehicle. New 2014 Ford F-150 Super Cruise, just $30,495. New 2014 Ford Focus SE, just $19,995. Or new 2014 Ford Fiestas, $13,995. Plus, every new Sholo Ford truck comes ready to tailgate with a Yeti cooler. Sholo Ford's Great American Tailgate event. It's party time at the east end of the Deuce.
Oh, this is my town.
Need a fireplace? Ace has that. Need barbecue grills? Ace has that. Need paint? Ace is the best place for that. Need a chainsaw or weed eater? Ace has that too. Ace can even fix your chainsaw and your weed eater. Ace Hardware has everything you need for your home improvement project. They even have a 24/7 locksmith. Locked out of your home or car? Their mobile unit will come to you. That's your helpful place. Ace Hardware of the White Mountains in Pinetop, Overguard, and Sholo.
Yellow Jackets up here at intermission as we take a look at Coach Adam Reek. He's got to be happy with his first half. As we talk now about our Ace Hardware second half adjustments. Keys to the second half brought to you by the Ace Hardware of the White Mountains. A 24/7 locksmith available at the Ace Hardware in Pinetop, Shello, and Heber Overgard. Punt, a lot to talk about in that Window Rock Scout locker room. In fact, they didn't even come out to warm up in the second half. They're just now coming out of the halftime locker room.
Well, you know, we saw them start out, and any team coached by Mendoza, and for those listeners out there who recognize the name and maybe can't place it, he used to coach at Holbrook and was part of that championship run that the Holbrook Roadrunners went through. So he's a very disciplined kind of coach where he makes his guys work the offense. And early we saw them do that, be very patient, a lot of movement. They got a couple of quick early buckets, but then that just the intensity of that Blue Ridge defense after a while, I mean, they could hardly even get their off. As they need to find a way to get clicking on offense and break down that defense and not get the turnovers and avoid the turnovers. So I think it's going to be a big key for the Scouts in the second half. They've got to obviously find a way to get some points on the board.
Set now for the third quarter. As the Window Rock Scouts will have the basketball to start the third, trailing 35-15. As the Scouts work it around the perimeter here. We talked about Coach Mendoza. You can see it in their patience in their offense, but there's an errant pass again. Nate Miles with the steal ahead to Burgess, 1-on-3, and wisely pulls it back out. Williams, cross court to Miles, looks at a three, got it.
Nice shot by Nate Miles, and a good that shot by Miles opened up by, as you say, Chris Williams penetrating the key and able to kick out.
Up and down with the right hand. Emerson, the sophomore, works it for Window Rock, throws it, and it has his pass poked away by Williams ahead to the freshman, Mason Miles, who puts it off the window and in. He has 8 in the contest, and Blue Ridge leads 40-15.
And you can see that Jacket intensity, the defensive intensity continuing here early in the third.
Up and down with the right hand. Now high post, Wanika turns, launches from 15, and he got it. Myron Wanika knocks it down. He has 7.
And that ends a long scoring drought, I believe, for the Scouts. So a pretty key basket there by Wanika.
Burgess calling for a screen, shakes his man with a strong move, turns around and drains an 18-footer. Burgess was 17 in the contest. Emerson down at the high post, spins. Now a pass to Chickaway as Chris Williams comes over the top of Chickaway and will be called for a personal here.
Chris not liking the call. Again, you know, the Jackets continuing to try to deny those passing lanes, and that time Chris jumping over the top, but apparently made contact at the body or something to draw that foul.
Scouts looking for something offensively here. There's been nothing inside tonight for them. As they bounce one down low, lose the handle on it, give it back to Wanika. Wanika drives, puts it off the window, no good. Rebound Williams. Williams one-hands it errantly and turns it over. That long down court pass, one-handed by Williams, and missed it. NBA range three-pointer for Sloan is no good, but there's the big-time putback by Wanika. Got the rebound and the score. He has 9 in the contest, tying his points per game average, and it's 42-19. And a steal by Window Rock. Throw it ahead for Emerson. Emerson off the window and in.
Just a bad pass by Nate Miles, and he was thinking Chris Williams would roll off that pick, and he didn't. Ends up throwing it right into the hands of the Scouts. So Blue Ridge needs to be careful here. I'm sure Coach Freak not happy with them a little flat-footed here offensively and creating a few turnovers. We saw on that Wanika bucket as well, a couple of Blue Ridge guys just standing watching as Wanika went ahead and cleaned up the glass and put that 2 in.
Miles not happy after the errant pass gets pulled out. Linwood Burke checking in for him. Trey Tenageth also out, Vital out
on the floor now for the Yellow Jackets. Three-pointer on its way, too strong. Rebound, Scouts. Juanica in the corner, drives, loses the handle. Had it poked away. Emerson now underneath, give it back to Juanica. Juanica shakes his man and puts it out the window and in.
Well, Chris Williams had been guarding him, and he left him on that half spin move, allowing Juanica to just nice soft touch off the right-hand side.
42-23, Burgess drives. Does the bucket count?
Yep, it
Count
does.
the basket and one. Foul called on Jacob Emerson, his third.
McKay Burgess doing a great job, just continuing to be aggressive, taking the space the defense gives him, and attacking the basket. And drawing fouls, in this case, drawing the foul, and he'll go to the line to see if he can get 3 out of this possession.
McKay Burgess missed the free throw. 44-23. Yellow Jackets by 21 here. Off the window, nice job. Got the man in the air with the pump fake. Trent Long knocks it down for the Scouts. 19-point Yellow Jacket lead. And the Yellow Jackets lose the handle out on the far side as it goes out. Last touch by Burke.
Well, a bounce pass from Mason across the floor to Burke, but Linwood just not able to get loose to go gather up that pass. So another turnover by the Jackets.
Spin move underneath is no good. Rebound on the other side, and a good job by McKay Burgess to get that board and draw some contact. And Jacob Emerson now has 4 personals. Emerson saying, no, leave me in, coach. But Coach Mendoza's not going to go for that. He immediately gets a player up off the bench to check in for Emerson. Burgess takes it inside and scores again. McKay Burgess has been hot tonight. Down the lane, Emerson puts it off the window and in. Perhaps sensing he's coming out. Jackets in trouble in the backcourt. Burke tries to get it across the timeline with the pass, but a timeout's called with 3 minutes and 34 seconds left to play here in the third. Yellow Jackets 46, Scouts 27. Tonight's contest brought to you in part by Papa John's Pizza. For the best ingredients, best pizza, call Papa John's at 532-PAPA. That's 532-7272, 532-7272.
Well, the Scouts are only 3 points away from matching in here early in the third quarter their entire point production in the first half. So you can see whatever they talked about at halftime is working offensively for them now. I think part of it too, though, it seems like the Blue Ridge defensive pressure is maybe a little bit different. I don't know if they're just trying to pace themselves, recognizing that intense defense can really drain guys. But regardless, Scouts come out answering pretty strong here in the third quarter.
After the timeout, Jacket basketball, give and go is stolen away. Ahead for Emerson. Emerson off the window, scored up and in. Emerson playing with 4 fouls, still in there, got another bucket. Burgess races it down, pass to Williams. To Mason Burgess, offensive foul as Burgess ran into Emerson.
Well, in a good position by Emerson that time. He can see Mason come from top of the key and just positions himself. Mason looked like he got tripped up a little bit on that first defender, maybe lost his balance. That contributed to it. But regardless, another empty possession by the Jackets here with a score 46-29.
3:05 to play third quarter. Mason Burgess checks out. Trey Tenage then. 46-29, and the Scouts with the basketball, trailing in this contest. Pump fake, move it around up top, give it to Sloan. Swing it into the corner. Now down low, it's stolen away, and Williams had it kicked. His pass was kicked out.
Well, a nice steal by Chris Williams, and as you say, as he's dribbling across to try to dribble out of the key, looked like it went off of Blue Ridge foot, but they're saying it went off of the Scouts.
Miles drives and dishes to Vital, and he puts it off the window and in.
Good work by the two guards that time, Vital and Miles. Good exchange by them to get the quick bucket.
Sloan working the right side. 5'9" sophomore tries a three, no good. Rebound. Williams knocked it out of bounds. It'll be Window Rock ball.
I think they're going to say it goes to Blue Ridge.
Well, scratch that. Yellow Jacket basketball here. Pass comes into Miles. He throttles it across the stripe. Lost the handle on the basketball. And here come the Scouts. They want to run. Off the window and in. Score it. Shamon Goodman from Wanika.
Full court pressure by the Scouts, and Linwood Burt can't find anyone trying to get the ball in, so he will call another Blue Ridge timeout.
2:07 left to play third quarter, 48-31. And the Yellow Jackets with a timeout.
30.
And you know what, I'll tell you, Jackets have burned a lot of timeouts in this third quarter.
Yes, they have. And you have to credit this. We talked about the defensive pressure by the Jackets in the first half, and the Fighting Scouts for the Window Rock have turned the page here in the second half with them coming out with a lot of tough defense.
I want to remind you to check out tonight's contest on Sholo TV, cable channel 56.
We'll highlight the crew here. Tonight's technical director, Zach Lambert, graphics, Sky Perez, audio, Nicole Jones. On the cameras tonight,
Sage McCrill,
Christina, Dakota, Isaiah, Damian, and Chastity.
We say thank you to the crew. He's always doing a terrific job for us, making tonight's contest available. The sights and sounds available on the web tonight, streaming live at italk1067.com, and then tape delayed next week on Sholo City TV, channel 56. Is it 56? Yeah, 56.
It used to be, yeah, I think it is 56.
It is. Channel 56. Games will be played next Monday, Friday at 7 p.m. and Saturday at 1:30 p.m. Invite you to tune in on those times on television or on demand on our website at italk1067.com. That's italk1067.com. Emerson knocks down another two. He has 8 in this contest. McKay Burgess in trouble, throws it away. Emerson drives off the window, misses the shot, but will go to the free throw line as we get a foul.
That's going to be on Halls, number 3, Mitch Halls, his first.
Halls, who's just checked into the lineup.
Well, the Scouts are certainly turning the tables here in the third quarter. They're now running the floor extremely well, getting those transition buckets off the turnovers on the Blue Ridge side.
Jacob Emerson, the 5'9" senior, is second on the team in average points per game with 8 per game. He did not score in the first half. He now has 10 in the contest to lead. Oh, excuse me, he does not lead. He is second now to Wanika as Padilla on the other end puts it off the glass and in.
Well, and they beat the Jackets, do a good job running right down the middle of the floor with the ball and break that full court press by the Scouts to find the open man. Padilla down wide open on the baseline.
They call Jacob Emerson for a travel here. Minute 14 remains in the third. Jackets lead 50-35. Long pass to Burke. Burke with a 3-on-2. No look to Padilla. Padilla off the window on a interesting shot underneath for Adam Padilla to draw the contact in an and one.
Played it right, did Adam. You know, he felt that defender slide back over to him, gave him a nice pump fake to get him up, and then just kind of a leaning scoop shot off the glass. So a great bucket by Adam Padilla.
Terrell Begay checks into the lineup. Here's the storyline on Jacob Emerson tonight. He's playing with 4 fouls. And what kind of confidence does it take from a coach to let one of your top players
stay on the floor with 4 fouls through the third quarter.
Well, and he's making maximum use of his time on the floor with his contribution on the offensive side, something the Scouts certainly needed.
Padilla missed the free throw. Yellow Jackets will get it out of bounds after the rebound goes out off of a Scout, but they miss
Nice pass.
on the possession. Pass in low. Tried to get it up over the top of Padilla. Did Trent Long, and Long outmatched underneath, trying to get in amongst the trees. Ball goes out of bounds, and the Yellow Jackets will have it.
Well, it was a good pass to get it too long in that spot. At the time, a little bit open space, but got to credit the defense for Blue Ridge just collapsing quickly on the ball.
Burgess brings it in. Throws one to Padilla that's stolen away. Emerson, left-hand layup, no good. Got his own rebound, put it off the window and in.
Great follow by Emerson, as you say, to clean up his first miss. And he gets the steal on the inlet, does Emerson. So he's big time contributor to the Scouts' comeback here.
Oh, Emerson almost picked up his 5th personal. Fans didn't like it. Well, Yellow Jacket fans didn't like it. Window Rock fans pretty excited about it. He went around Burgess that time, reached around his back and knocked him down. And they call a travel violation on McKay Burgess. That was a gutsy play by Jacob Emerson.
Yeah, very gutsy. He's certainly not letting up despite the fact he has 4.
And we'll have to double check, make sure I don't have a mistake. I can't believe that Coach Mendoza's letting him play with 4 fouls here.
He's a big catalyst for them right now. They've picked up a lot of momentum, not exclusively because of him, but certainly a big part of that.
Travel is called, Jackets ball. They get tied up at the time stripe. And a foul called here as Trey Tenedgeth tries to get away from Terrell Begay. And Terrell Begay picks up his first personal.
And the Scouts continuing to amp up that pressure, trying to trap the ball and get the turnovers where they can.
At the buzzer, the Scouts miss. We go to the 4th and final. Jackets up 52-39 over the Window Rock Scouts. This is Show Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
When it's time to purchase or refinance a home, there's a lot of choices out there, but only one stands above the rest. My clients are raving about how much easier we make the loan process. Hi, I'm Lacey Weeks from Supreme Lending. My team and I can help make even the most difficult loans seem easy and stress-free. You deserve the best. Call me today at 537-5626. That's 537-LOAN. Lacey Weeks, your mortgage consultant for life.
Supreme Lending is an equal housing lender and MLS ID 2129, MLO MLS ID 166-161, Arizona Mortgage Bankers License number VK0925918.
Jacob Emerson with 4 personals, had 4 points going into this quarter before he picked up his 4th personal. Coach Mendoza gambles and leaves him on the floor. He scores 10 more. And really, the only thing keeping Window Rock in the game right now.
Well, the momentum has shifted to the Scouts in that third quarter, and you got to credit Emerson for a lot of that. And you keep questioning, well, why would you leave a guy in with 4? I think because he just realized that there was so much momentum behind the intensity that he was bringing on both sides of the floor, because we saw him create some turnovers as well.
Yellow Jackets have led by as much as 21, 22 points tonight. The lead is 13 at the moment as we go to the 4th and final quarter. Window Rock ball. Every possession will count for them down the stretch. They blow this one with a spin move down low, but a missed shot.
That was a good spin move by Kobe Emerson, just a little hard off the glass. Blue Ridge gathers up the rebound, and apparently a foul. They're going to call on the defensive side, against Window Rock.
And I think that's Emerson, and I think that's his 5th. They have Emerson still on the floor with 5 personals.
Well, maybe they didn't call a foul. Well,
here's the travel here.
But I'm almost certain that the scoreboard showed Jacob Emerson with 5 personals, and he's still on the 4. If he's playing with 5, I'm confused somewhere. Opening paragraph of the 4th, Jackets lead 52-39. Travel violation gives the Jackets the basketball. Scouts in a full court press. Linwood Burke ahead to Miles. Bounce pass over to Williams. Back to Trey Tenageth up top as they set their offense. Williams spins, takes the baseline.
Nice.
Tries it off the window, left it short.
Well, good help on the defensive backside by the Scouts to prevent that easy bucket by Williams.
And
they're going to call the blocking foul on Linwood Burke, and there's your guy again, Emerson driving to the bucket. Another really close call, but they're going to call the blocking foul on the defender.
Linwood Burke picks up his second. And you say he got there?
It would look close to me.
I'll tell you what.
But it doesn't matter what I think, right?
Sweating bullets.
That's what Brandon tells me anyway. Nice pass. Chris Williams finding Mason. Again, that pressure by the Scouts is leaving the floor open on the Blue Ridge side when they can break the press.
54-42, Yellow Jackets hanging on here. But the Window Rock Scouts trying to make a run.
Again, Emerson driving the baseline left and getting in front of Nate Miles, who will be called for the foul. Does Nate Miles, so it'll send your boy Emerson to the line again. He'll make the first.
The first. Emerson playing with 5 personals, in my book, anyway. And I guess Mendoza, you know, if you get to play with 6-5, if he gets an extra foul above and beyond everybody else, then hey, why not play him with 5 fouls or 4 fouls, or maybe he doesn't have to come out. I don't know. Yellow Jackets pass it into the corner. And okay.
McKay Burgess is down on the floor after he's falling to the floor. It's hard to tell what it could be, but he's clearly in pain. He may have rolled his ankle, is what I'm fearing here, the way he's acting.
We get word that Jacob Emerson did not pick up his 5th foul. They showed that on the scoreboard, but they put up the wrong number. And Burgess coming off gingerly here, being helped by his coach. Now Trey Tenageth comes over to help him off and putting no pressure on that ankle.
Yeah, that's the left ankle. So apparently as he was cutting down that right lane, stepped on another player's foot or something to roll the ankle.
That's not what the Jackets need heading into the final week of the regular season.
Or into the 4th quarter of this game here.
Mason Burgess, bounce pass to Williams. Williams kicks it out to Burke, 3-pointer, got it!
Big bucket there by Linwood Burke. Nice 3-point jumper.
Up top, Jacob Emerson launches a 3, left it short, rebound. Handled by Long, then chipped away by Burke. Burke looking to run, 3-on-2. Burke leans in with the left hand, can't get it to go.
Well, good effort by Linwood Burke on the defensive end, number 1, just to get the ball, and then goes coast to coast. Goes up strong with that left hand, misses the shot, but as a result of a foul by, I'm not sure who they call it on, but it'll send Linwood to the line here.
Did they get Kobe Emerson with his 5th?
That'll be his 4th, according to the scorer.
They have Kobe Emerson, and they got 4 fouls there. They assigned a foul to somebody that we thought it was Jacob Emerson prior to this. And I don't know that.
They may not have called a foul instead of maybe calling some other type of turnover by the Scouts.
Burke hits the free throw. Juanica checks in down low. 2 quick free throws give the Yellow Jackets a 59-44 lead. 6:06 remains here in the fourth. Bounce pass on the baseline into Emerson. Emerson has it stolen away into the hands of Trey Tenegeth. Ahead for Mason Burgess. Over to Tenegeth. It's stolen away, but they throw it away. A good steal that time by Eric Sloan, but he spins around and throws the basketball dangerously across the paint that time on the Yellow Jacket side. Jacket basketball on their baseline. Williams launches from 3 and hits it.
There's that stroke we talked about from Chris Williams. You know, he's known for his play in the paint, but you can't leave him open outside like that for an open jumper.
Underneath, the spinny move by Emerson misses. Tracks down the long rebound, bounce pass in low. Wanika off the window and in.
Good job by the scouts finding the open man. And a long pass by Blue Ridge down to Mason Burgess. Outstanding scoop shot to the right side against defensive pressure by the taller Wanika. So a nice touch shot by Mason Burgess to get the 2.
Sloan for 3, Long. Rebound tipped around, controlled by Long. His shot no good, blows the easy look. Jackets with a 2-on-1. Miles keeps it, scores it.
Another good quick on a nice steal by Nate Miles, picking off that inbound pass by the scouts.
Tenegeth, double team, triple team, passes over to to Burgess. Long on the 3-point shot. Miles tries to track down the long rebound, missed it. Jacob Emerson races it across the stripe, left-hand dribble, and a foul called in low.
Yeah, they're going to call a push foul on Trent Long, who set a pick right at the top of the key on Nate Miles. And you can maybe hear the Window Rock fans behind us not agreeing at all with that call, but Nate Miles just really collided heavily with Trent Long, who they will call the foul on.
Matau will check in for Nate Miles. 4.5 left to play fourth quarter. Blue Ridge basketball up 66-46. Bounce pass over to Burgess. Mason Burgess up top for Vital. Williams, fake left, move right, nice. Off the window, scored in.
Outstanding crossover move by Chris Williams. Takes it strong down that left side to get a good bucket for the Jackets.
It's hard not to want to just become a spectator in this one. Reverse layup by Wanika.
A good answer by Wanika. Another good strong move by the big man.
Still by Wanika. Leaves it off left side. Goodman scores it off the window and in. Under 4 to play in the contest. Burke beats through the defense, takes it, leans in with the right hand, missed it. Rebound Williams. Mason Burgess splits the defenders and gets fouled in the process.
And again, the scouts just putting heavy pressure on the ball wherever it is, double teaming, trapping where they can, which is one of the reasons why Blue Ridge has been able to run down the floor fairly quickly. When Blue Ridge is able to get the ball in the middle of the court and run, they've had numbers advantages on that transition game. But even on the half-court game, we see the scouts coming out real heavy on pressure, trying to double up and get turnovers.
It's Trent Long who's whistled for the personal. That's his third. Burgess hits the first half of a 1+1. Tonight's contest brought to you in part by Papa John's Pizza. Pick one up on your way home from the game. Call 532-PAPA. Best ingredients, best pizza. Papa John's, 532-PAPA or 532-7272. Both free throws good for Mason Burgess. And on the other end, Emerson puts it off the window and in.
And he goes coast to coast to get that layup, does Emerson.
Burke out of the backcourt, behind the back, handed off to Tenegeth. Back up to Burke. Burke had it poked away by Emerson. And a jump ball's called. Reaching in that time was Trent Long to tie him up. Alternating possession favors the Yellow Jackets, though. I'll tell you what, Emerson.
He's got tons of energy. I don't know how he can keep that motor going. But he's just doing it all on both sides of the floor here for the
and that
Scouts.
may be 5. Oh, offensive foul.
Yep, that's called on Mason. Burgess takes the inlet pass, goes strong to the bucket, but in the process will be called for the charge.
70-52, Yellow Jackets out to their biggest lead of the night. We'll keep it here. Oh, correction. No, that's not their biggest. They were out by 22 before.
Yeah.
We'll step away. 3:14 left to play here in the fourth. 70-52, Jackets lead. This is Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
With over 25 years of experience in search and recruiting, Care National is dedicated to matching skilled professionals with careers in healthcare. Care National, nationwide medical management recruitment services. Let us get you hired.
Welcome back to Blue Ridge High School. 3:14 remains in the contest. Yellow Jackets up by 18. 70-52. Scouts with the basketball, and you have the sense, even though the Jackets have been in control of this one since the second quarter, that the Window Rock Scouts are not a team that you can take lightly, even with an 18-point lead.
Well, they're certainly not going away, and we see quick ball movement, which is something the Scouts need to do here with just 3 minutes left. They got to get buckets quickly, and a great move by Trent Long down on that baseline, getting Chris Williams up in the air, drawing the foul.
Missed free throw, rebound to Begay. Shot doesn't fall, though. Jackets race it out of the time stripe. Burke had it picked away. Begay with the loose ball travels.
That's a travel for sure. Good. Lot of pressure on the ball again by these Scouts. That time Linwood Burke triple team to get the steal. But good hustle back by Linwood to help defend that penetration by the Scouts into the key, and Blue Ridge in turn getting a turnover.
Tenejith over to Williams. Bounce it to Vital across the lane. Back up top to Burgess. To Burke. Over to Vital. Vital in the corner left side. Tries to spin away from his defender and has it poked away out of bounds.
And again, just really heavy attacking pressure on the ball by the Scouts.
Bounce pass into Williams. Williams had it knocked away by Emerson. Emerson says it was last touched by Williams. Kobe Emerson, a 6'1" sophomore, been playing with 4 fouls since midway through the third quarter, has done a ton of scoring. We'll tally his up here in a moment, but did not score in the first half. Has done everything here in the second half.
Another turnover by the Jackets.
Off the back of the iron, no good for Wanika. Tenejith dives to try to save it, and he's hurt. Scouts again playing.
I think he's just tired.
Very physical out there. And a push and a shove underneath will send Emerson to the free throw line. Foul's committed by Vital, that's his first. And at the free throw line, Jacob Emerson. A familiar spot for him tonight. Emerson is a perfect 6 for 6 at the stripe so far this evening. Taking full advantage of every free shot the Jackets have given him. Hits them both. A perfect 7 for 7 tonight is Jacob Emerson. Miles ahead to Burgess. Burgess double team, throws it away. Emerson, right hand dribble up the right side, splits the defenders, puts it off the window and in. Have to create a new scoring column for Jacob Emerson. 70-58. Williams down the baseline.
Looks like your guy's going to get his 5th foul.
Oh, Jacob Emerson finally called for the personal. And that is 5 on him.
And a good move by Chris Williams out on that baseline. Sees the opportunity, especially with just the size differential between him and Emerson. Goes in strong and isn't able to get the shot up cleanly, but regardless, a big foul.
He had 16 points in the third quarter.
Coming in for the Scouts.
Well, and Emerson's provided a lot of the offensive momentum too for these Scouts here in the third and early part of the fourth quarter here. So we'll see if they can maintain the momentum on the Scouts' end of the floor now that he's down on the bench.
He had 11 in the fourth quarter. He finishes the game with 27 points, all of them in the second half, and a majority of them playing with 4 fouls.
Yeah, just incredible performance.
Williams hits 1 of 2 at the charity stripe. Pull-up jumper, long, no good. Rebound Burgess, out to Burke. Burke behind the back to get it away from the defender, split some defenders at the time stripe. And then the ball is knocked away on a pass towards Williams down low.
It's amazing to see how Linwood Burke can even get the ball through all those defenders, but he's able to. A near turnover, but Blue Ridge able to hang tight here.
Into Williams, and Williams, he started that inbounds play. Looked like he may have been fouled, but he's up now as the Jackets get a
nice scoop shot by Linwood.
And a reverse layup by Burke.
Outstanding play by Linwood Burke, getting the steal and then driving all the way down to get the bucket.
Hanging and hitting on the other side is Shaman Goodman. Mason Burgess, the freshman, against Wanika, hangs and hits.
Great job by Mason, anticipating Wanika coming over across the lane, and just a nice soft, high arcing bank shot off the glass to get the 2, and another turnover by the Jackets.
Mason Burgess fouled on the left-hand layup. The steal by Trey Tenage at that time to start the break. Throws it ahead for Mason Burgess. Burgess in the right place, sensing those steals, getting out in front of the Window Rock defense. Jackets lead by 15. They're going to clear the bench here. As Mason Burgess toes the stripe for some free throws. Around and off on the first. 75-60. Blue Ridge leads with 51 seconds left in the game. Wanika's checking out of the scout lineup. As that'll be the end of his night. Wanika with a terrific night as well for Window Rock. Burgess, 1 of 2 at the line, hits the second half of 2 free throws, and the Jackets up 76-60. We see for the first time tonight Justin Faria for the Yellow Jackets. And a drive and a shot by Eric Sloan is good. Up ahead to Halls. Halls bounce pass towards Padilla, stolen away. Out of the backcourt, throw it way ahead to Sloan, stolen away by Vital. Vital to Padilla. Padilla drives inside, and an offensive foul called on Padilla here. Standing in to take the charge, Keyshawn Williams, the 5'8" sophomore.
That had to be a little scary for the sophomore, seeing
no kidding.
Adam, who had like a 10-yard head start on him, but got to credit him for just bracing and taking the contact.
Goodman splits 3 defenders and puts it in. How about that? The towel out of the backcourt, throws ahead, and it's too tall for Justin Faria. The 6'4" senior can't come up with it. 7 seconds left. Sloan over to Goodman. Crossover dribble inside the lane. Kick it out on the wing left. Shot inside the arc is good. The 2-pointer for Keyshawn Williams to end the ball game. The Yellow Jackets win tonight, 76-66. We'll step away. The Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store Player of the Game is coming up next. This has been Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
Need a fireplace? Ace has that. Need barbecue grills? Ace has that. Need paint? Ace is the best place for that. Need a chainsaw or weed eater? Ace has that too. Ace can even fix your chainsaw and your weed eater. Ace Hardware has everything you need for your home improvement project. They even have a 24/7 locksmith. Locked out of your home or car, their mobile unit will come to you. That's your helpful place. Ace Hardware of the White Mountains in Pinetop, Overguard, and Show Low.
With over 25 years of experience in search and recruiting, Care National is dedicated to matching skilled professionals with careers in healthcare. Care National, nationwide medical management recruitment services. Let us get you hired.
Need a fireplace? Ace has that. Need barbecue grills? Ace has that. Need paint? Ace is the best place for that. Need a chainsaw or weed eater? Ace has that too. Ace can even fix your chainsaw and your weed eater. Ace Hardware has everything you need for your home improvement project. They even have a 24/7 locksmith. Locked out of your home or car, their mobile unit will come to you. That's your helpful place. Ace Hardware of the White Mountains in Pinetop, Overguard, and Show Low.
Final score tonight, the Yellow Jackets win it 76-66. Welcome to our Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store post-game show, brought to you by the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store. Best hunting, hiking, fishing gear you can find on the mountain. It's out at the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store on Highway 260 south of Pinetop, right-hand side before you get to the Honda Casino. And really the storyline in the second half, 51 points scored by Window Rock.
Yeah, we talked about how Coach Mendoza probably would have something to say to them since they just got out on the court when they were ready to start the second half. So clearly there was a lot of talking going on in the Window Rock. But whatever he said and whatever dust he sprinkled on those guys clearly worked. I mean, clearly it was part of the effort for the Scouts in that second half, putting up only 15 total points in the first half. You could see their energy much higher. They were running the floor better, and of course applying that full court pressure had a little bit of the turnaround in the scoring as well. But you got to credit Emerson. Just came out huge. Jacob Emerson, the senior point guard, and as we mentioned several times during the game, he's playing that entire second half with 4 fouls, but. He was certainly the catalyst for the Scouts, and he gave that team some energy, and they really, really.
small technical
Plus at
issue
Show
there.
Ford, you get a
It's,
lifetime.
we try to get things reset here for you here in our post-game comments. We had one of the staff here at Blue Ridge High School unplugged us here at the scorer's table. But back to your comment about Jacob Emerson, a large part of that offense in the second half, those 51 points. He scored 25 of those 51, and he did it with most of that second half. He did it with 4 personal fouls.
Yeah, and just energy-wise, really picked up the team because you could see the other players feeding off of his energy level, and both on the offensive side and defensive side as well. But, you have to credit Coach Mendoza for whatever he did say to those guys at halftime. Clearly 2 completely different halves for the Window Rock Scouts tonight.
Well, it begs the question, Punt, because we talked about the North, and the top teams in the North are Window Rock, Chinle, and Tuba City. And those 3 teams vying for a first spot into their sectional tournament. Of course, whoever wins the sectional tournament in 2 weeks from today has an automatic bid and will be one of the top 6 seeds that goes into the state tournament. So those section tournament positions are pretty important, and where you place may determine whether or not you end up in that championship game. Of course, the sectional tournament for their division, which is Division 1, Division 3, Section 1,
right,
up in the north, will be played at Chinle. Here, Division 3, Section 4, which is the section that the Yellow Jackets play in, their sectional tournament will be at Show High School. So these 2 teams won't see each other until postseason, but this one an important game nonetheless. The other reason this game was so important is because the AIA counts these games towards ranking each of the sections. So the more out-of-section wins our section gets, the stronger this section will appear, and that's part of the reason that we see all of our teams ranked so highly, in many cases above some teams with better records in other sections, largely because we've done well in out-of-section games.
Well, and, we talked to for Blue Ridge tonight, recognizing that Window Rock always has a pretty consistent quality to their basketball program. So the Jackets, I'm sure, were expecting a good competitive game tonight, but we talked about how a victory for the Jackets tonight, after having lost their last 3 games and close games, all 3 of them were close games, hard-fought battles, would provide, I don't think this Jacket team lacks confidence, so to say that it would give them a confidence boost, I don't mean it in the sense of that they're lacking confidence, but it makes them feel like, they really put out an effort tonight, did the Jackets, especially on the defensive side of the floor, and their full court transition game was just really, really working well tonight because of their defensive pressure. So, I think for a player, you feel like, okay, finally our effort's been rewarded with a victory, because they clearly earned the victory tonight. That first half performance, yeah, you could argue maybe Window Rock was off a little bit, but I would argue they were off because of that defensive pressure the Jackets brought out. They just were not giving the Scouts any room to breathe offensively. And so, I think for Blue Ridge, it's a win, an out-of-section win, which makes a difference in terms of their ranking. But more than anything, mentally, it makes them feel like, okay, we had a 3-game skid, but we're back in the saddle now. And it couldn't have come at a better time, because next week, guess who's coming to town? The Alsace Falcons. They're seated a little bit higher right now than the Jackets. The Jackets beat the Falcons earlier in the season down in White River, so the Falcons are going to come up with revenge on their mind. So should be a great contest next week.
And when the Falcons come to Blue Ridge, they bring their fans.
Absolutely.
It might as well be a home game for the Alsace Falcons on Tuesday night. We invite you to come out to watch a great one on Tuesday night. We'll have the coverage for you here on iTalk 106.7 and on iTalk1067.com. We say thanks to the students of Show High School tonight, who've done a terrific job for us, the White Mountain Youth Productions kids. The technical director tonight, Zach Lambert. On graphics, Sky Perez, Nicole Jones. Audio, camera, Sage McCrill, Christina, Dakota, Isaiah, Damian, and Chastity Powell on the camera crew tonight for you, to bring you the sights and sounds of tonight's contest on iTalk1067.com. That's ITALK 1067.com. Also, games
are replayed on Sholo TV, Channel 56, Monday and Friday at 7 p.m. and Saturdays at 1:30. If you'd like to become a sponsor of the White Mountain Youth Productions and these broadcasts, contact Mel West at Sholo TV. Mel West, the executive director, along with Jerry Butler, executive directors tonight. We say thanks to Brian Hanlon, our on-site producer. And Brian, make sure I turn you on. There you go. Brian doing a great job. And your thoughts on the game tonight?
Well, it was thoroughly enjoyable going back and forth. A lot of those fast breaks and a lot of turnovers and passes getting stolen by the other team. But and then the comeback in the second half, that third quarter, there was a lot of points scored. It was quite exciting.
Well, that about sums it up as we go to our Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store Player of the Game, brought to you by the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store. Don't forget the best hiking, camping, hunting, and fishing gear. You'll find it at the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store.
So that's my cue. This is tough. I'm going to do can I do a co-player, joint player of the year?
Do whatever you want.
I think we'd recognize the contributions of the Burgess brothers tonight. We saw McKay, who we expect for Blue Ridge to come up and be aggressive and do a lot of the scoring. He certainly showed that in the first half for sure. He was really aggressive, penetrating the basket with the ball, being aggressive, going to the basket, put up a lot of points. I think he was the leading scorer for the Jackets at the halftime. Of course, he goes out with the injury, the ankle injury, which is unfortunate for him. But his younger brother, Mason, picks up the slack and does a great job, I thought, defensively and offensively, scoring as well and just doing a great job on the defensive side of the floor. I'd like to credit, the contributions of Linwood Burke tonight, too, but I think we'll settle on the Burgess brothers for co-players of the year, or game, sorry.
Of the year, there you go.
Yeah.
Co-players of the game, the Burgess brothers, as you mentioned, combined total of 38 points tonight, 21 tonight for McKay Burgess, 17 for Mason Burgess, our Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store. Players of the game brought to you by the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store, now with the best selection of hiking, hunting, camping, and fishing gear. You'll find it out at the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store on Highway 260 south of Pinetop on the right-hand side of the road before you get to Honda. It's going to wrap up our broadcast. We say special thanks to our in-studio producer tonight, Royce Kincannon, for the entire crew here at Blue Ridge High School. Once again, the final score, the Yellow Jackets win it tonight, 76-66 over the Window Rock Scouts. We invite you back next week as the Yellow Jackets will take on the Altusay Falcons, live here from Blue Ridge High School. Game time 7:30. Tip-off scheduled for 7:30. Our broadcast is scheduled to get underway at 7:15. We invite you back for both the live video and live audio on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com. Until then, we say, Camden Smith for Punt, Cooley, we say so long, everybody.
With over 25 years of experience in search and recruiting, Care National is dedicated to matching skilled professionals with careers in healthcare. Care National, nationwide medical management recruitment services. Let us get you hired. With over 25 years of experience in search and recruiting, Care National is dedicated to matching skilled professionals with careers in healthcare. Care National, nationwide medical management recruitment services. Let us get you hired.